let me point this out. This is the same for all the way across. So Romeo Entertainment, their fees, for those of you that are fairly new, that's 10% of the artist's fees, which, again, this was substantial. Last year, this amount was $6,000 because we booked, well, the entertainment was much lower cost, and then I booked some of that myself, and they don't get a cut of that. So this was substantially more this year. Friday, our opener with Thomas Mack. There's Russell Dickerson. That was an expensive show for us. The 1270 band, that's not dollars, that's the name of it, $1,250. Light and sound were the same. On Saturday, our opener, we split between being the opener and then going back outside for the after party. This is the Night Ranger cost here. We had a number of free stage on Saturday, so Phil Baker was there for the kids. That was a real bargain. We got a grant, covered more than half of him. Billy Lurk and Lizzie Morrison, the Root Rockers, and the Jimmy River Band. There you go. So you can see those. So those are pretty good buys for that entertainment that we had out there. These other things are fairly equal. And then we had Trinity Hill out there Sunday, so that was our opener, if you will. And then here's the music of Randy Travis. And then, again, all things equal. So total entertainment, when you include light and sound and all those other things, there's kind of that total. So let's go back to this spreadsheet here and get to some of our expenses. So any questions about actuals for festival on the revenue? Okay. Expenses. Inside entertainment, as we just went through that. This is the Mitchell Tech loading crew. This is the cut of the alcohol sales that the show choir parents would take. Again, proportionally, that was last year, that was about $6,400. Light and sound, I highlighted that because that's a large increase from last year. This one is a large increase from last year, but moving forward, those are the kinds of fees we'll start to see depending on how many concerts we have. Hotel rooms were way down, and that was $1,800 and some dollars last year. Hospitality was up. This is the cost of our alcohol, the taxes, free-stage entertainment, our advertising, the inflatables, the portable toilets, some street fees for cleanup, and then we had the I don't know if you saw the face painter balloon artist person on the corner of 7th and Main. He was very busy. He was down there on Friday night and Sunday afternoon. And we did not charge for that. I got permission from Gold Star to allow that. So our total expenses, quite close here on that. So that puts us at a loss on festival for 2022. Now, this is similar to what we had in 2020, COVID year. When you thought in hindsight, a lot of places closed, didn't have their shows that year. But we're $68,000, 476. So, having seen that, again, I mentioned Gold Star up, sponsors up, concessions were up. The food that Gold Star sold was up, and our percentage of that, as were the games of chance, the percentage we get. So there are some highlights that really, it just simply comes down to not enough tickets sold for our concerts. And, there's some speculation around town. Russell Dickerson, Romeo Entertainment didn't have an answer for us. He'd been selling out all of his shows. 2,000 to 4,000 people. And, we ended up under 1,100 for him. We really needed that 1,500 to 1,600. And then with the alcohol, we probably would have been okay. Made a big difference. And of course, Night Ranger, all of those tickets were down just a little bit. So, having said that, thoughts on concerts. I want to spend most of our time looking, Festival 2023 changes, suggestions. So we are set for another 5-day festival, Wednesday to Sunday. In fact, we're contracted with Gold Star through next year. Typically, we would negotiate a new contract with them in January, February of 2023. So when they come back in 2023, they know that they're going to be here, if they're going to be here or not. That might be their, last year, or we have a new, last time they did this, it was a 5-year agreement with them. So we're coming into the 5th year with Gold Star Amusement. And there are other carnivals there. The dates and weekends are a little bit of a, a struggle to find those kinds of things, but I am open to any and all suggestions. If we put, again, we look at these tickets numbers. Sorry, I was trying to do that.
So while you're doing that, will you remind me who was in charge of advertising?
That was me. So we took last year's outline, and then we added 20% for the extra show. So really the only change, we didn't do a Facebook competition, or a contest, I guess, where we gave away hotel rooms and meals and tickets, which was depending if we comp, I don't know if we comped the rooms last year or not, maybe a $400, $500 deal. I think the gift certificate for food was $100. I don't have that in front of me.
That's fine. But I was disappointed that none of the advertising had anything about the deal, the ticket deal. It was not mentioned anywhere. And every single person I asked about Cornhill shows had not heard anything about it.
The radio ads had it.
And
Yeah, the radio ads had it. Our poster did not.
I think there was a lot less digital advertising from what I've seen in the past.
Yeah, I don't think that, that's why the Facebook post generated a lot of comments and a lot of people tagging other people, like, this show is coming, you might buy it, that kind
So we did boost. I haven't gotten that bill yet, so I don't really know what that, it's hard to kind of get the analytics. Dan, do you know, can I go and find those? It gave me, so why would you're talking about these posts, so we did a show and it said, okay, this show, then tomorrow night's show, but we would boost them that day of, but we'd also boost them, the week before too. So I don't really know how that's going to come in. I've never done that before, but Jen showed me that it was pretty easy to do. We picked a 150-mile radius, an age group we wanted to target, and then that kind of worms its way out into people who like and share. So, but we actually spent more this year than last year. Now, whether we got our money's worth or not, the postcard mailing went out. That was the same, about 16,000 of those. In fact, it wasn't exactly the same. Yeah, we did not have, we had more students this year, so we had a student special. So on the campuses, they had posters, and they did have the not the two for, they had the student price on those posters. So we did do that.
But I just think it was a missed opportunity.
Okay. I don't know if, our tickets were very reasonably priced,
Yes. It's about numbers.
Right.
Even if you sold one at a slight discount, and you had those people in here drinking, especially for Dickerson and Lake Ranger, it might have made a difference.
Midway, did anybody get a chance to come down and walk the Midway? A couple things, Craig, we have a list, too. Garbage placement, we added 10 more garbage cans this year than last year, but if they're not in the right spot, so we, you do garbage pickup and we find an overflowing garbage can literally 50 feet from 2 empty ones type of thing. So some of that's human behavior you can do something about. Other times you just need to have more bodies out checking them all the time. And we thought we did that pretty good. We did more than last year, but our Midway activity was up too, so that was good. So we have a list to make sure we, garbage placement, not in front of businesses, because then it looks like their places got garbage in front of them. It's not their garbage, So, we've added the Phil Baker Kids Show. Again, very difficult to get kids from this side of the Corn Palace, where the kids' rides are, over to the plaza stage. You know, we make the announcements, it's on social media, we talk on our radio ads. I was able on the radio, you know, 4 times, I guess, altogether. And that gets good coverage. You get a lot of comments, a lot of feedback from that. That's good. But face painting was good. That went over well. Balloon art, Phil Baker, it's just not quite enough. But I think that was better than last year. We added the tractors down on South Main Street. They were here for pre-Sturgis, and we really wanted to add a tractor ag display again. So we added that. I thought for those that went down there, it was well received. They liked it. That was the Twin Rivers Old Iron Club that did that. And would like to continue to do that. You know, they don't pay as a vendor. It's more of an attraction to draw people down there, get them to stay a little bit longer.
Do we look at just going to 3 concerts again like next year?
Well, I think if I pulled up, you know, last year we were quite profitable. Our entertainment costs were way, way, way down last year. You know, Black Hawk and Whiskey Myers both gave us 2020 rates in 2021. I know for a fact that Whiskey Myers this year was $55,000. You know, so that's going to continue to go up. I don't have numbers yet for, you know, what they're quoting for next year, but we'll certainly get them. I guess that's where I need input from you, what you want to do. You know, some people, the Sunday show was a wonderful show. For that demographic of people, I can't tell you how many people just came and told me that was wonderful. They just loved it. You know, the goodwill, but the goodwill doesn't pay the bills, right? And you can see we had hardly any you know, that was just non-existent. But as far as the show goes, it was wonderful. Craig and I got so many comments after the fact on the way out the next day, notes in the mail, that kind of thing. So I like the fact of doing something on Sundays because that's typically, and we hadn't done that for the last 2 years. You know, that was our very low-cost polka and that. But so I'd like to do something on Sunday. If it was my choice, we probably would not have do some entertainment, local entertainment inside on Wednesday, Thursday. And because of the light and sound setup, we couldn't have Adam and Amy Pope inside. They were setting up all the lights and stuff on Wednesday. But same thing happens if we have let's say we had a Friday, Saturday show next year. They're going to set up light and sound on Thursday, which means we probably can't, depending, they might get it set up and be ready to go, and we could actually use it. But if we do that, they're gonna charge us for that night anyway, you know. But think of you know, use a Weston Frank who's been here, but you know, probably drew 700 people to the plaza during the pre-Sturgis party, and then we have this big name band come after, and we lose our crowd. So something like that, just to get people in the building and open up the concessions and the bars and things like that. But I don't know.
I could think of a couple. One, I think we need a limit on, I noticed one of those front bands was very expensive. The opening act,
Thomas-
which I was not aware of.
Thomas Mack was, yep.
And I just don't think that is justified. I think we need to limit those dollars that go, those local groups. There were people, when I did the door for Night Ranger, so who was that group that played?
Jimmy River Band.
There were people that came just to see them. They literally walked out after the Jimmy River Band, although they paid for a ticket. So those local groups like that, I think, have a following and they're reasonably priced, and I think it's a way for us to limit expenses.
At Danica Michaels probably brought 50 people
That's fantastic.
for her Thursday.
I mean, I think that's the route to go.
You know,
But then my overall question is, Russell Dickerson, is that our lane? Is that the lane that Corn Palace can fill? That was a really expensive show for us. And is that a show that maybe Sioux Falls or somewhere, I don't want to, we can't compete with them. We got to find our own lane where the things that we bring in are the things people around here will come and see. And I just wonder if our lane isn't a little different than that.
well, part of it, we use Romeo, you know, to make recommendations on who's good and who they think will sell. They keep all the data, and all summer long, they just said, they were wondering what's going on, is there stuff out there, things like that. Because they were very surprised that he didn't sell way better than he did. So,
Yeah, I think you really gotta sell for a show like that. I mean, that's a big expense, there's a lot of tickets that would have to go, is that early?
well, I don't know that, but I do know moving forward, this dollar amount is on the low end of some of the entertainment we're going to be getting.
Is that is that early? There's other entertainment that's not that expensive,
Well,
and maybe that's.
And look at last year, we did 90s country with Black Hawk and did really well. Now, I will say, I think, you can't point at any one thing, but there was a lot going on. I thought I'd see, the Mitchell Colonels were home football that night, okay? Which, okay, maybe, you think maybe 50, 75? They're not, maybe, but we didn't get anybody. I mean, Canova Howard, usually those folks just flock here. Alec, Parkston, that kind of folks, Mount Vernon, all of them had football games that were big-time games. I think that made a big impact. I know, for example, Canastota played at Howard. So there was 1,000 people at that football game. Same down at Parkston playing Platt, matchup from last year's state semifinal game. So that drew, all the Parkston people said, we're going to go to the Russell Dickerson show, we're going to go watch, the locals. I think that had a lot to do with it. But we're going to run into that every year. We've had it before, too. I don't have a list, but
I guess I just had a couple comments. I heard repeatedly from people that they didn't hear about what concerts were coming here. And when they did know Randy Hauser was coming here, they had already heard about it going to Brookings, just as one point. I think Romeo gave a really good suggestion that we've been trying to do. I was busy with Mark Graham when he was here. We've been trying to do paid concerts 3 nights, which didn't work, and then we moved to 4 nights, still didn't work. Maybe it's time that we start looking at, if you do a paid concert, you do one and do another one that's a free concert and a low budget one so that you can bring more people through the doors to get beer sales to cover the cost. This group, different board members, has at times said, we're not tied to Romeo forever. We don't have a life contract with them. Is there something that we need to be looking at doing differently for concerts here in the future? We've always counted on beer sales and sponsorship and the carnival to offset the costs of what you're doing for entertainment. And when you have one day also that doesn't have any of that, you just have to factor that in when you're determining what you're going to do the other 3 days. I just did a quick estimate on a day by day, and it looks like Thursday was a loss of $29,000, Friday 44, Saturday 13, and Sunday 35. So you're spending a lot of time talking about Russell Dickerson, which was 44. Your second biggest would be Sunday, which was 35. So I think you can do something really well. Pick one night that's a paid ticket that everybody's going to go to because that's the concert of the day, and maybe have some great free entertainment inside that people can come in and out of the plaza or whatever, but what we're doing isn't working.
we did not do all of the entertainment we had outside. We only had our bar sales for a short time in the after party. We didn't have it prior to, which I think that's an opportunity for us, to have that set up and have that going the whole time, because it makes a difference. You're talking $5 $5 or $6 or $7 a shot, literally.
I mean, this group looked once at having, I think it was, I don't remember if it was Pepper Entertainment or something, just renting our building for the night, and then they bring in the entertainment, and they're keeping the sales, and then they got like a cut of the beer. It didn't go forward for whatever reason, I think because of our contract with Romeo, but I mean, there's other ways to do this that you could explore instead of thinking that we always have to stay with what we've done before in the past 10 years.
The things that that have to stay the same next year are Gold Star. We're under contract with them. We are under contract with Romeo for next year. That actually might be, there might be a second year, another year left
Can
on
I
that.
ask a question on that? It's not a contract for a certain number of shows, though, is it?
No,
Only that they will assist with the shows that we.
for the festival headline shows.
Okay.
Yep, because
That's why Mark
all the
suggested
openers,
changing
quite
that.
honestly, I worked pretty hard getting the openers, and they only got one.
Yeah, I know. you
Did
do
they
most
pick
of
the
that.
openers?
No, I did that. Yep.
I know a lot of people ask, like,
They
if
picked,
you had national acts, why wasn't like our, like Brandon Jones and Judd, who, why weren't they open in front of people to give them a chance to shine under a national act?
well, and Judd Hoosh is more than, that's, I mean, there's as much as Thomas Mack, there's $6,000.
Well, Danica Michaels, that was why she opened.
Yes.
That's exactly
Right, so Danica Michaels was, right, that was a $750 opener. Jimmy River Band, $750 opener. And, yeah, those are the two that I got, and then, and the Trinity Hill Band, was $1,250. And then, they did Thomas Mack, which was their recommendation, which, he was very good. He was very good, very entertaining.
I heard some people said he was better than.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I heard that too, you know.
I actually heard that too.
So, you know, you can bring somebody like that in who's just a, you know, a $6,000 to $8,000 band and bring in 500-600 people and have a pretty good night.
Well, and so I'm thinking all about a festival and heard tons of comments, but I think we really need to look at how do we get people here more than one day? You know, how do we get the parents to buy the $50 ride pass? How do we get people to take advantage of the 2 for $50 deal if there's 2 concerts? Having people down here is where we're gonna make money. You know, them driving from Canastota to see the Randy Travis show. Well, yeah, it's a great show and it sells a ticket, but they're not riding rides, they're not buying cotton candy, they're not supporting our vendors, our food trucks, nothing.
That part, again, that part was up from 2021. So again, that's the good side of things. We got people, if you were down here on any night between 5:30 and 8:30, Thursday was slow. You were down here, yeah. It was chaos.
I will tell you from a student perspective, I think this was the first year that the coaches didn't tell them, if I see you downtown,
Right.
you're not playing.
Makes a
I know
difference.
the 2 years prior, my kids that are both in sports, the coaches said, if I see you downtown, you're not playing because of COVID. They were worried about kids catching it and not being able to play. So the high schoolers were out this year for sure. My kids were there every night, so. That made probably a little bit of a difference too. They didn't have to worry about coach seeing them and they weren't gonna play.
Gold Star was quite pleased. I mean, our passports were up substantial, the ones we sold. Our sponsor passports, so, and that was promoted really well. But again, that's all via email or phone call, you know, right to them. Hey, don't forget, you get these things with your sponsorship. And they really sent it out to their employees, and I put a little poster together with a letter, say, here's what you get, and you could tell. Avera Health sent it out, I'll tell you that. They must have sold 150 passports to Avera employees. So that was, you know, that helps Romeo too. Even though we're selling them at, instead of 49, they get those for 40. They're still down here doing other things too. So that part was good. Food sales were good, you know. Just literally getting them in. And I went out, there was a group of people I knew, you know, after the, this was on Saturday night, Night Ranger. And I thought, gosh, walk in the door for $25 or $35, you know, you're 2 pretty good bands, you know. Night Ranger show was, the only complaint I heard about that was it was short. You know, they're contracted 75 to 90 minutes. That was their show. They've been doing a 75-minute show. That was anything new because their crowd was smaller and anything like that. That's what they've been doing.
12
So,
songs,
yeah.
that's all it was.
So it's,
I heard good things about it though.
I did too. The
And
Backstreet
from
Boys was
sponsors,
31
so-
songs.
yeah, almost 3 hours.
I think that was a success. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about that. I heard Russell Dickerson was way too loud.
Loud.
Way too loud.
I heard people say every night was too loud.
Yeah, and there are people that leave,
Mel,
and I'm valid.
using.
But I saw a couple leave because the night ranger was too loud. But that's, I mean, I feel like that's an expectation if you're going to a concert, you
Right.
should expect some noise.
Well, and, you know, you can't, it's just human nature, right? You just can't control those things. I heard a comment about Danica Michaels, and I'm literally out in the lobby, I'm thinking, my gosh, if I didn't know, oh my gosh, now it's getting my mind, the Canadian singer, Shania, she was spot on, out in the lobby. It was sounding amazing. Then I heard someone say, oh my God, sounded like a cackling, you know, I'm going, I thought she was amazing, you know, but, yeah. So you can't, you know, you gotta take all of that with a grain of salt. Ultimately, it's about the numbers and people in the door. And, you know, if it's advertising, you know, that's obviously, so, and Jen helped, you know, a ton. We kind of looked at what we're gonna do and contacted the same people. But maybe it just felt a little flattered, you know, I don't know. I mean, you should have all gotten your mailing, you know, we did posters all around town.
Well, and then I don't know about the mailing, I wonder how many that sells, how many tickets that sells, because that's very expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, postage is
Yeah, I
expensive, the
don't know
printing
if
is
that's-
expensive.
I don't know if that's the best, I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I question whether it's the best.
I'll tell you why I did it 2 years ago. We were spending about $7,500 with the newspaper. And I switched it and I made sure it landed in 15,000 people's mailboxes.
Right.
No way,
Right.
15,000 people.
Which, you know, Jen and she did a very good job. I was very happy with what she was
And
doing.
there's postage included, and that's what's expensive.
So we went through the outline, you know, and looked at this, and I said, well, we have to put a little bit more, we got 4 shows, so it's gonna cost, you know, a little bit more to try to get the other show out there too.
Yeah, we definitely missed this year digital media. Social media is free.
Yep,
That was
that's
huge,
right.
and we had no social media. I mean, I know there was some way too long, way too wordy, but that was a free thing, and that was just it. So, there's a few things.
So we did the,
And 2 for 25, yeah, it's a hard year to judge if that's really gonna work, because
right,
I brought it up at Rotary week before, 2 weeks before, and it's like, what?
I will, you know, I sold a lot of tickets at the box office, so people come up and we obviously when we have them face to face, you realize, and
Yeah.
it really, they either knew about it or they, no, that's not what I'm interested in. So,
Well, and
it-
you couldn't buy another one. You had to do
Correct.
you had
Right.
to come here to get the deal.
and that was just part of our ticketing system, because of the choices you'd have, and how they would do the math, it just wasn't an option.
I don't think anybody's gonna have trouble coming here or calling to get
Yeah.
it if they know about the deal, if they're interested in it.
Yeah.
But it's hard to gauge interest if nobody knew about it.
Was it too much to have like 3 country, I mean, I love country music, but was it too much to have 3 basic country acts, you know, Thursday?
Yeah, I think that's
Sunday are all
the
country,
question. I mean,
you know.
we knew that when we got these
Right,
last
right, no,
spring,
Right,
but they were all different types. You've
Yeah.
got old country, you've got 90s country, and you've got new country.
yeah.
You know, the Mitchell Tech Dakota Wesleyan students, we had a pretty nice group here for Russell Dickerson. But I'd love to get 500 of them here, you know? $25 ticket to see Russell Dickerson right here in town. Just walk down here. I mean,
But I just think 4 concerts, it doesn't matter what genre it is, it's the same. I mean, I'm a concert goer, I go 2-3 times a month, I feel like, and there's a limit, you know? Like eventually you're like, oh, like I bought Night Ranger, I walked in for 10 minutes and left, I was just like, okay, I'm done, I'm over it. I was here Thursday, Friday, you know, so I just think, we have a limited market that we're talking to. How many concerts in a row are they gonna go to, the ones that are buying?
No more than 2.
And, you know, I figure they've done,
Big on
So
Tuesday.
that's where it was at.
Tuesday, it's Tuesday ones.
they've gone, well, they've gone to Suwin Park Fair, they've gone to several concerts there, and they were all the price of getting in the gate.
yeah, other than a couple, like Old Dominion you had to pay for.
Well,
And,
but I'm here,
And Herbo.
the point,
And the Neil, or, my girl's one, Melanie.
Oh, yeah.
we know we know we look at that every year as far as, you know, you got that first, then you got us, then you got State Fair behind us. But again, I think we're all talking about the same thing, about cutting back on the numbers of concerts that we have.
Okay.
Probably be the way to go. I know I was all about Sunday, but when we had Sunday concerts, when we were nuts busy down there and so on, that was that Happy Together tour.
Mhm.
And we filled it. I mean, the Palace was,
I had a call from someone, the Wednesday after festival, said, hey, can you get, they'd just been out to the Deadwood Mountain Grand, saw Happy Together. They had 2,000 people. They sold out the Deadwood Mountain Grand. They were the second row from the back. Nothing, if you've been there, it's just a barn. You can't see a thing. I mean, you're back a block, practically, from the stage. They paid $60 and they sold out in Deadwood. And one of the acts didn't even show up. It was on the bill. They got sick. And they listed who they were. So I'm going, and I pulled up on a computer. So we'd have them here, I think, 6 times, I think. Yeah, yeah.
I know we did it back-to-back years.
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to, and I know we pointed this out, you can go here and go to Corn Palace Festival and then go to Past Entertainment, and you can see all of those here. So anyway, obviously, Festival 2023. We want to have a festival again. You know, there's a lot of things. I mean, I see no reason why I can't repeat a 2021 with some acts that are a little smaller, have some good alcohol sales, some good street sales, and make the festival pay for itself. You know, I was kind of after last year thinking, oh, this is not so bad. You know, and then we get hit with a big old expensive show on Friday, but again, all of them is just flat out not enough ticket sales. There's no other way to put it. You know, our alcohol sales were fine for the people we had here, actually higher than last year. So, I guess recommendations. You know, I'll obviously talk to Romeo. I am contracted for them certainly for next year. Any concern about the location? You know, I will tell you, nothing's changed. Gold Star loves the setup here. Public Safety likes the setup. I like the fact that the Corn Palace is right in the middle of it. It's easier for our staff, quite honestly, to do all the work that we need to do instead of going 6 blocks. You know, by far we interrupt less retail and businesses this way. You know, there's just no doubt about that. The bars are the ones that would benefit if we went down Main Street, and I get that. So I'm willing to, you know, look at things that we could do, but as far as location, it's just better. You know, a lot. It's better for more folks and more involved than moving it down Main Street. So, genres of music. You want to? I mean, there's a lot of new artists out there. I mean, if you country music is still a big seller here. It really is. Kids show. You know, we thought about kids show on a Sunday afternoon. Would a kids show be a good show? You know, some of the animated things that are out there.
Maybe on its own. With if you have a kids show, maybe if the kids are in here and the action out there where they've already paid $40-some for a wristband, are they going to come into a show? I mean, on its own, maybe.
Yeah,
Not during Corn Palace week. It's my thought.
Great, just not during process.
Yeah.
My recommendation, I'll throw 2 cents out there.
No, that's
Nothing Wednesday, nothing Thursday, unless it's, you know, the free stage entertainment, that's fine, kind of thing. I love that there's some noise happening right there. Friday, do a free show. Let's bring in a $20,000 group. I don't know who or what genre, I don't really care actually. But do a free show. All the doors are open, wide open. They can come watch the show. They can go ride the Ferris wheel. They can come back in, drink a little more. Kids can come. You know, it's just an in and out kind of show. Saturday, don't spend all of our budget, but spend a chunk of our budget getting whatever we decide. Is it a night ranger? Did you hear a dirt band sold well? Some of those kind of groups. Do one Saturday ticketed show, and then do a Sunday happy together tour. Music or any track is something that's just more low-key and closes up the show for that more mature generation.
And then just set your rates on that Sunday to closer cover your ticket, your
Because
cost.
you know, they're going
Yeah.
to bump it up, they're not going to
Yep.
drink as many beers, they're going to drink Sprite instead, but
Yep.
we know that going in.
I will say, I sold a lot of tickets, and I was still amazed at $35 with the fees. It's a $38 ticket. So many folks of that age group thought that was extremely high,
I know.
and I just said, gosh, I said, I'm sorry about that. I
Well, they
said,
don't go to
you just don't, right?
concerts.
And
Yeah, so.
I
And you also
mean,
just said the Deadwood Mountain Grand sold out, Happy Together for $65 a ticket.
but those are concert goers, right? They you know, these are okay. It's in our town.
That's a Gene Huber crowd.
That
I'll see you.
that one
that one here drew from Sioux Falls. That brought a lot of people. We were full after that concert, full. We had a lot of people we knew from Sioux Falls and so on, said they came just for that show, enjoyed it, and then they went out and ate afterwards.
Well, what's nice, you get your value, you're getting almost a 3-hour show. Because these artists are all doing 30 to 45 minutes. And
Is that
then,
the Happy Together?
yeah, and then you get, so,
I mean,
Oh, that's why you said
we had to
Gunner.
run.
Like I left here and went right there.
We had to run back.
so these aren't, so here's Happy Together, the Grassroots, Gary Puck, Union Gap, and the Buckinghams.
2016.
Sometimes they don't.
They've been here twice since I was here.
Here's the Turtles, the association.
11, 12, and 13, they were all,
In 16.
And 16.
and 16.
And I think, so this Roots and Boots tour, that's actually,
That was really good.
that's still going on too, different people.
And we lost money on that, didn't we?
That was a short,
25 minutes. That
What?
was very short.
for 3 acts?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought we lost money on that, but I don't know for sure.
No, Midland, when nobody showed up and they were selling out too, all over. and
Yes.
400
They
people
were
were there.
high during that concert.
Yeah, were they? Oh, whoops.
Yeah, that didn't affect ticket sales.
Yeah.
That was after the fact, right? Well, I will, obviously move forward. I mean, there's no, this is this year, and we're always looking at what we want to do. I mean, we kind of, not go back to the drawing board, but fix what we can fix and move forward and enhance what we thought went well and try to make it a little bit better.
Well, like that guy who opened for Russell Dickerson, Thomas Mack, he was so good. Like if you had that as a, not him specifically, but something like that as the free one, where people are coming and go, I just,
Just wanted to check it out, but it's
Yeah.
free, so I'm going to check it out.
We'll put a poll out there of what we can
Yeah.
afford and ask the town.
Hmm?
I thought of that too, like, are we going to get Jimmy Buffett or Garth Brooks? Vote.
I'm a little, that's true. I guess sometimes, when you do those kinds of things, you have to be prepared to get the feedback.
Right.
And some of it's pretty ugly sometimes,
Right.
because people are just people,
Yeah.
but,
But
right.
I'm for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I don't know, I'm not big on Friday free. If we're gonna spend 20 grand, 6,500, yes, but 20,000, no. That's,
Personally, I'm kind of with you. I would rather do a Friday, Saturday show, like Friday country, Saturday, night ring, tight.
If you try to take advantage of, but honestly, the students aren't really coming. Thursday night is when, Mitchell Tech can go to Weston, and they're just not showing up. This is my third festival, and we had a few this year on a Friday, but we didn't have anybody on Thursday. Randy Hauser was not a fit for them at
well, you
all.
had some. I was standing by about
Oh, that's right, you're right.
8
Yeah.
of them.
The
And I
Mitchell
had
Tech-
one with me, so I know there's
Yep.
like
Yep.
8 to 10.
Yeah, that is true.
Friday night, I had 5 of them.
In fact, the one showed up Wednesday night because he thought Randy Hauser was Wednesday night, Thursday, that's right. So, and he was,
Friday is you're still have this football game.
You're always gonna have
yeah,
that.
you're always gonna have that.
We will.
Somebody tried to bring a dog in.
Someone did bring a dog into one of them.
Big dog, like that.
well, the tourists are, sometimes do that too, but.
They want to get a ticket and bring the big dog in.
Was it a German Shepherd?
Oh, it's like a nice show looking dog. It was like, whatever.
There was one of them.
I was like,
While you're contemplating that, I want to show you a couple things. Next, which could possibly be a dilemma. I wanted to show you this too. This is kind of cool. I just taking some pictures. I wanted to. So this is on the stage on Saturday night. That is massive. That's when they hang from the fire truck, and you think, oh, that's a pretty good size flag. It wouldn't even fit on our stage. We had to pin it up, which I thought was kind of cool. And then this is the College Palooza, and we had the DJ doing line dancing out there, and that's a first. And they were having a ton of fun. I thought that was pretty cool. And here, just to give you an idea of what the setup looked like. It was a busy, so we're just this is before it starts, but this is probably 4 o'clock, 4:30.
Is that the NRA?
This is the NRA band. You can't see it very good, but so we draped this whole backside, year. They wanted that kind of being closed, so it was kind of cool. And it was full, 475 seats on that. And they booked for next year. Okay, here is a concern. Our farmer sent these pictures of the best ears he could find.
Is that one blind at corn?
I think he was trying to figure out, what can I do to show them how big the ear is?
That is really little.
Yeah, smaller than your glasses.
The black and the yellow corn, this is white, of course. Yellow field corn, we use a lot of that, obviously, turns white, so it's not a great. The black is very important for outlining all of our murals. And then I have one more here that gives you a little idea how small these ears are. So there's his hand.
Oh, wow.
So now we would cut off this right here and then split it in half. Now this is a nice, again, it's a full ear. I mean, you can see that black one is filled. It just ran out of moisture. This ear of corn would have been twice as long and half again as wide last year, or was last year. Two things. One is, if we use this corn, we're going to use all of the corn up and get half the murals done. Because it'll literally take 3 times as many ears to cover the same amount of space with this size. We know we have no green. None of the green pollinated. So it's not like farm corn, where they have, they modify a little bit to be drought tolerant, right? This is, they've changed the colors over the years, de-stranded most of that, and created these new colors, but they aren't real drought tolerant, aren't real insect tolerant. But bottom line is, if you've been out in the country, you see these fields of white corn on sandy ground, this is what they're getting. The ears of corn, field corn, are going to be about 6 inches long. And sometimes they've got 2, but their yields will be cut in thirds, I'm guessing, for sure, as is our field corn. So I will keep you updated on this. Our first batch of corn will be coming in on the 19th. And once he gets out and picks, we'll know what we're going to definitely, we have to change the USA. It's been up 2 years, almost 3 years above and we're going to change that to kind of a star pattern up there. We'll get rid of the USA for now. Keep you updated. I will tell you, there's a very good chance that we won't be able to change out all the murals, and maybe have to pick and choose which ones we do, or try to find colored corn, which I don't know if any of you have experience with that or not, or Jeff doesn't recall doing that. He's been here 9 years. So
We did it before. We got some from Iowa.
Okay.
Just to finish off. That's
So they don't spray paint that corn, that complex.
Well, I know one year they did put up, because they had the murals taken down, which they used to do, right? They tear them all off while you had the summer help, and then hope that you get corn to fill them. Well, I've taken the approach, even though we decorate longer, leave murals up, so at least we have our shoulder season, they have something to
Can't
see.
use fake corn?
Well, they put up banners, they put up posters,
Oh,
or,
really?
Yeah.
Of the.
of the mural,
Yeah.
of the mural.
What was that last mural that we didn't get up?
That was the Black Hills tent scene.
No, so what would it have been if we had?
Oh, it was a circus tent. A circus tent.
Okay,
Big
so,
Big top tent, yes.
and we've done this before. We've kept murals up for 2 years, and we turn into a mice problem. But that is gonna be an option.
We'll know more in 2 weeks or a week and a half when he brings his first load in and he gets out in his field. He walked through it and he said, oh boy. He sent pictures immediately, and, there's not much you can do. There's no need for us to go out there and look at it in July, other than maybe try to find somebody else that's gonna have corn. But it's not gonna be good. Even if we pick everything we have, it's about 75, 80 acres. It's just so small, it's just not gonna cover. Because then we cut a small ear in half, that's still small. And it covers up with half or a third of the space that it did last year.
It'd be kind of weird to have a half London and tough even half Fayette, South Dakota.
Well,
So it's kind of an all or nothing.
I would agree, and I'll keep you updated, get your input, perception from the public. I mean, as the farmers start to harvest, you're gonna have areas, for example, down by Yankton, there's no corn. If you've been down there, they don't have a crop.
Yeah.
They just don't, there's just no corn there.
What about seed?
Yeah, seed's fine. We've got 2 years supply of seed. Yeah, we're okay there. You know, he's got a supply of seed, we have a supply of seed. So, which is good. We're gonna meet with our grower. We were gonna do this anyway before we knew we had some drought corn, just to kind of make a plan, so we need a little more, a few more acres. We can't be running out product. We need to pay more for more acres. We need the product, you know? And especially if we're gonna have drought years, we have a lower yield, we need more acres planted. So that'll come into play in our budget a little bit. So we're contracted with him for next year as a grower, and he's been doing fine. It's just some of these things are not in his control either, you know? As far as the amount of fertilizer you put on, or you irrigate it, you know, not an option for him. So, I wanted to show that to you just in case, and I'll give you an update as soon as we get some corn here so we can get out in the field and see what it's like. So, something comes to your mind about festival, you go into another show, if you went to the state fair, Craig went to a show up there, he said the concert he went to was not as good as any of the shows we did, and they had 7,000 people there. He actually went on Josh Turner and El King, and he said, yeah, he thought our shows were better. But there were $60 seats up front, sold out. The reserve section sold out, and another 3,000 or 4,000 people in the general admission.
Don't you still pay to get in the gate too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's never been a beer tent.
what's that?
That's never within a beer tent, it was
Packed. He would be a draw right here.
Yeah.
You know, he's somebody that, you know, we haven't had him at festival. I haven't anyway, 3 years. So, you know, you had us move on from Weston, you know, but he drew good at Priest Sturgis. But somebody like that, a Judge Hoosh, that's somebody we could bring in for a party band. You know, we have some and there's Sioux Falls got a ton of too, you know, that people know about. Those you hear about it playing the street dance somewhere, you know, it draws 1,000 or 2,000 people. And that's what you end up with, kind of a, and we could do that again too. We could have a parking lot party, like we did 2 years ago. If I had my outdoor stage, you know, I would certainly consider that. You just have a lot of fun outdoors, you know, domestically.
So less concerts with the South Dakota group with the light and sound, do they charge per concert?
Yeah. Yep. The problem is if it's set up and you skip a day, that's why you really want to be consecutive.
Right.
You know, it's a Friday, Saturday, or
Because that's a
Saturday,
huge
Sunday.
expense.
It's a big expense, but and the more days you have, the less it is. So, for example, you did 2 days, you might pay $7,500 a day versus 60.
Would they come here for one concert?
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you contract with them, they know what they're getting into. Yeah, they do that all the time. They go set up equipment for it's a 2-day event. You know, they come one day to set it up, do the event, and take it down. Yeah, and they're very interested.
Well, this isn't anything new with bringing in top-line entertainment and being disappointed with the amount of ticket sales. So let's just face it, our demographics are such that we cannot compete with Brookings and Sioux Falls and Brown County and State Fair. And so find our lane, like Gene said, let's try to get some people here. If we need to put our money into one concert, one good one, try to do some free ones, that's where I'm at. The council's not going to care how much money we make, but when we lose like this, they're going to expect something different.
Well, as they should.
And that's, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't know as you're going into it, you know. Nobody knows. Like last year, you know, we had a very good year. But like you pointed out, we brought the venues in at the price for 2020 also.
Yeah, if you would
But
have.
I think 4 concerts, I think we can all agree that obviously is too much for our area. So what is the number?
If show of hands here, but you had your choice of Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. And I say that because of the light and sound. If they're set up here and they're not here, you're still gonna pay the equipment to be here. So that is a substantial, that's $6,000 to $7,000 if you leave a gap between. All you're, all they're not paying for is the people. They don't have to work that day, but that's a small amount. It's the equipment that they have here.
Are we talking Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
No, I would say if they're looking at two, a Friday, Saturday, or a Saturday, Sunday.
I'm saying I'd do,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday?
Yeah.
Definitely.
The only thing I would say about doing Saturday, Sunday is, Friday, you're getting people coming off of work and maybe they're getting here just time to get to the concert versus if you did Saturday, Sunday, most people have those days off. They're coming earlier, spending more time,
And we did go, and our shows were kind of early compared to a lot of shows. I noticed that Huron was like 8 o'clock at the state fair for some of their shows. So we went 7:30, 7 on Thursday, because of, it's a school night and that kind of thing, but 7, we could go later. A lot of concerts, our openers still started at 9 o'clock though.
I think if you do Saturday, Sunday, you're gonna cut out a lot of your sales. On
On
Sunday
Sunday.
versus Friday,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sunday
Sunday
show,
is, everything's winding down too.
We
That's
did
where
a,
like the Happy Together or the Racetracks works.
last year on a Friday, remember, we had almost 1,500 people here for a band that hardly anybody knew. Everybody said, who's Whiskey Myers? And then they heard, oh my God, these guys are amazing, type of thing. So,
well, the Sunday thing too, we could potentially look at a free show for the older people too. And, we always know something new is gonna draw. If it's a free concert, who cares? We're not gonna have any beer sales, but it's still gonna bring people to town. And then what's that, the firefighters over here and the guy from Sioux Falls that are doing the 50s.
1270.
12.
They're really good.
They are really good. I heard them outside. Was that a Corn Palace or was that
that
a
was,
Friday?
they did both. They were here for the July 1st Friday, and then we had them here.
Okay, I heard it for the Corn Palace.
Yeah, they did
And
it.
honest to God, they had a nice crowd and played very good music.
Yeah.
So if you could promote something like that, so they at least still have something for the older generation, I think would be good.
Well, there's always polka. I get multiple calls for polka again.
There's a limited audience for that.
It's getting small.
Yeah.
We talked about that, but it was a lot of goodwill.
I like the idea of a Dustin Evans or something like that, here for one of those
On
nights. That's an affordable
a
thing.
Friday night.
Yeah, you're gonna get a draw.
Gio, you have your contact info, you can kind of shoot over to me. I'll just do a little reach out and kind of see what schedule looks like and those kinds of things, just kind of
Yeah, you can see.
plant a bug and, okay? Well, again, we'll kind of wrap it up. We've done over an hour. I will clean this up a little bit so it's easy for you to, and I don't have a problem sharing it. If you hear feedback from folks, good, bad, or otherwise, or good suggestions. One I heard, for example, on the Sunday show, I never thought about it, is there's no parking, right? Well, that was the other thing, is try not to get the Terry Community Theater doing a show on a Saturday. They've had 125 people to their show that day, but maybe 20 or 30 of them would come to ours, But having rides from the parking lot for the older folks, we take up all the handicap. We had 4 golf carts sitting out here in the plaza. We have people that ride
Good
there.
idea.
I thought it was a great idea, so we can easily do that. The football team or something, hey, for tips, you want to go use our golf carts and they'll pick you up in the parking lot. Make yourself a couple $100 and drop them off at the side door.
Gio and I will do that. for
Yeah.
$200.
Old town.
Well, bartending and the tips are pretty good around here, I'll tell you that.
And I know that there wasn't criticism about there being a show there, but we don't have any control over what they choose to do,
Right.
other than maybe talking to them and saying,
Do it Thursday night.
is there, we're not gonna do it Thursday night, maybe that would be your, I mean, that's really all we can do.
And
I have Corn Palace, we've been on forever, right?
Yeah,
And they've
well,
done that.
I'm surprised
for
they've done that.
Yes, they have.
And I think that they get a good crowd as a result of it, but it really,
Yeah, I've gotten calls before of, hey, my dad doesn't walk very well. How can I get him close to the Act Theater while Corn Palace is going on? So hopefully they would be willing to work.
People, I think locals on the parking, the streets, caused a little bit, our parking lots were all open, you know, I didn't blame anything on that at all. If they really wanted to come here, there's a place to park.
Yeah, it was just really hard to maneuver.
Yeah,
You can go
I think some
long
might have just said, you know, I'm
ways.
just not gonna,
Fifth Street did not.
Well, we
Yeah.
got Ninth
I
Street
know,
closed.
and that's one
Yeah.
time.
so, but, you know, it's just one of those things, that's right, that's right, all
It
right.
is.
One more thing.
Oh, yeah.
The exhibits were fantastic. I loved them upstairs. The judges were fantastic up there, so,
Actually, I did want to mention that because, of course, Jessica,
and the lady who took it over, fantastic.
yes, and we really expect that to double next year.
It will.
We really, because when we went up to check on bingo and all that, there was always 10, 15 people looking at all of those exhibits.
I
And
had
so,
one person complain. One person.
just,
Complain that it was there.
That was up there.
Oh.
Can't find it. I ain't gonna go up there to look for it.
well, those are all things we can get better at. You know, there's only so much, I think it was Terry Aslan asked, I was doing one of the presentations about, we have a full schedule, everything's going on. And there's a lot. When you look at the pre-stage and the exhibits and the bingo and all there, but where do you just can't put that on a poster. You know, you just can't.
That's too much.
You know, so we had it on the website, we put it out as a document on our website, but I felt good about the variety of things we had. The free stage I was very happy with. I thought, you know, I think it really helped our Midway. They loved the tent. I mean, there was always, Jen, you had a great view of it. I mean, I thought, you know, our sponsors were great. I think it was, I just think it was, there's a lot of upside. Just ticket
The
sales.
multi-use we did with the plaza
Mhm.
was fantastic. So keep going with that. That's good.
And we'll have a bigger plaza next year.
Potential. See?
Sure hope so.
Yeah.
Get rid of that scoreboard area.
Yeah.
All right, well, send me suggestions. If you go and see a band, something like that, send me some info. We will, I'll put a bug in Romeo to say, hey, here's what we're looking at. And, you know, we'll look at doing Friday, Saturday and see if we can pull something together. You know, we're just not a big enough market to book somebody and then have them build
Right?
a route around us. It's just very difficult to do. You have to pick somebody up in Nebraska, you know, or, see, we had, these bands though, they came, the music of Randy Travis and Russell Dickerson all drove up from Nashville the day before. They weren't around here.
That's why we paid them $70,000. That's why.
And that's potentially,
Yeah.
right, if we catch them, you know, though the good thing, they shot the music video and the fun bus made it in the video, so.
Yeah. That was Thomas Mack, right?
No, that was Russell Dickerson.
Oh, it was.
They needed a bus for transportation, so they, one more thing I needed to arrange at 5 a.m. Their festival.
All right.
Okay,
No public input, no executive session, right?
no.
Okay, then we need a motion to adjourn. Second? All right, meeting's adjourned.
Rodeo or bull riding Friday, Saturday, if you're interested. They would love to have you hop in and watch a little.
Hey, Doug.
All right.
Share some news, but
You have some contacts, I can reach out and say, hey, are you available and how much? and that kind of
so
stuff.
I'll have everybody we used for the last 2 years.
You all they're gonna buy it regardless.
The what?
Should go up a buck, like you like
Oh.
giving it away at seven.
At 5 and 7 even?
So you gotta go up to 8 on the liquor. They're gonna buy it no matter what. When they go to a bar, they pay more than $8 for a big string.
Well, going up we'll stay with that, there's no doubt. Though, for the banquet, we were back down to our 4 and 6. You know,
Oh, man, they go buy that liquor regardless, so.
But it's gone up. I mean, that's right.
Oh,
My cost of goods sold. I mean, I was looking at those numbers, I'm going, because my cost of goods were about the same.
Right, we
Last
said-
year, we had less, you know, obviously about $8,000 on sales.
Acting like a Tito doubles is like $12. And so, if they go to a concert, they're gonna expect to pay more anyway. So if you sell it for 7, might as well sell it for 8.
I heard the state fair went to 6 for a 12-ounce beer, and they were, people were complaining about it, but it's new.
I mean, they
That's a lot.
complain, but at the end of the day, they're gonna buy that beer. I'm at the concert, I'm buying that beer. When I'm working down the street, people's gonna buy that beer, no matter what,
We're all-
or that drink.
And we're all gonna see increases in it too.
And it's gonna go up.
That's coming, yeah, it's going. Package probably going next month.
Yep, it's already going up.
Tap, kegs that just went up, at least from one of them, so the other one's gonna follow.
Yeah.
Send me a couple contacts. I'll
Yep.
reach out, let them know who I am and kind of what we've got, what we're thinking and.
Yeah, I'll just call Dustin or Tim.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, that works. What do you guys
Thank you.
have?
So,
Yeah, I can send you whoever I had.
Yeah, not the ones we necessarily use this year, just all the ones you may have had.
Sure,
that
sure.
You didn't call yet, or they said no to you, or
Sure,
whatever.
sure.
Because we're looking some, I want to get Jimmy River Band, and I talked to Corey after we played here. I thought they were great, absolutely fantastic. And he said, you know what, I'd love to come do it, but we don't have 4 hours of material. I'm like, well, how much can you give me? Hour and a half? I'm like, okay, I've got to find somebody else to go with you. So I get Jimmy River and then somebody else, you know, and have a fundraiser over there, meal, ring in the new year with,
Sure.
yeah, so.
Well, and,
And good to know how much we paid him, $12.50 for both in and out.
yeah, he was, they were 750
Yeah.
just to do the opener.
Yeah,
And then,
500 up there, you know.
which, and quite honestly, they would have done that for nothing. But I was paying everybody else that. And I said, you guys drove a long ways, if the family here or not, you know, you did a good show. I said, I in good faith, I wouldn't feel good paying Danica Michaels $1,250 when you pay $750, you do exactly the same thing, 2 45-minute sets, you know?
I didn't
One
realize
is-
Thomas Mack was $6,500. I mean, he was very good.
The Powell brothers, remember them, who now they're just blowing up. They're like,
Yeah.
I follow them on Facebook. They've got some big time gigs, and they're $1,800.
Oh, wow. When we got him?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, last year, they're $1,800. They opened up for Blackhawk.
That's cheap.
Yeah, and Weston opened up for Whiskey Myers, and it was just a good show. We all locked up in there, Diane?
We're locked up, the people are still in there?
Yep, I talked to them. They're gonna text me when they're done, and I'll lock the north door. So
Oh, okay.
they'll just get the big lights. I'll go talk to them now again.
Oh, okay, because everything else is shut off.
Yep, that's what
And,
I knew.
Horse trailer in the back, the gate is open. There's no kids coming after school to do anything?
Oh, our trailer, the straw trailer,
Yeah, the back gate is open and it's just,
I will,
so I'm going home.
I will check it out.
Okay,
Yeah, I can close, I don't know why they left it open.
I have no idea the garbage can is open too, where they put all the straw in.
Well, it's easier to throw a match into it.
Yeah.
I
All
will.
right, just so long, I'll leave it.
I forgot to shut off that thing, oops.
Oops, it's still rolling.
Yep, we should shut it off.
So if you can corral that for me, that'd be great. Just want to have some options.